Do let me know, sir, whenever you are ready, we can start with.
बंद हो जाए, चलेगा, ठीक है। यहाँ वो कैमरा और माइक दिख रहा था,
तो वहाँ ले जाती हूँ मैं, वो करेगा
नहीं चलेगा।
सब ले जाती हूँ, करा के लाती हूँ।
टेलर साहब 1 मिनट।
हाँ, वांधो नहीं सर।
शेयरिंग बंद नहीं हो जाएगा।
Please start your work quickly. Fill these sentences. Quickly write it in your notebook. Do not wait. Write it in your notebook. Write down the words. Yes, Disha.
The sentence in our notebook.
Yes, but please, everyone knows the rule. Do not write the sentences. Only the answer in your notebook. Do not write the sentences. Do not copy them. Only the answer in your notebook.
Yes, now we are able to see you. Your grandson, perhaps.
नहीं हो रहा है ना?
हो गया।
हो गया।
मैं नहीं देखूंगा, वो देखो। ठीक है सर।
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
No issues at all.
I
You are
cannot be myself, but I hope you can get me right.
no problem, sir. So should we start, sir?
Yeah, by all means, please.
Okay. Good evening, one and all present over here. Good evening, all the participants. I hope you are having a good day. Today we are having with us Dr. Bharat Jain, sir. Dr. Bharat Jain, sir, has total more than 4 decades of professional experience in environment management. Sir is graduated in civil engineering with postgraduate and PhD in environmental engineering, also having postgraduate diploma in business management and postgraduate diploma in environmental law and policy. Sir had worked with Public Health Engineering Department, Government of Rajasthan and Gujarat. Sir has designed and executed number of water supply and drainage schemes and vast experience of planning of industrial estate with necessary infrastructure including sewage treatment plants and common effluent treatment plants. Sir is also involved in carrying out environment impact assessment studies. A former chief engineer of Gujarat Industrial Development Corporation, at present he is working as a member secretary of Gujarat Cleaner Production Center, involved in promotion of resource efficiency and cleaner production in the industries. Presently, Sir is working on retrofitting of existing industrial assets into eco-industrial parks. Sir is an executive member of various national and international committees. He is a vice chairman of NCTL, that is Narmada Cleantech Technology Limited, a CETP of 60 MLD, and director of many CETPs. Sir has made several presentations at national and international forum and published more than 25 research papers on environment management and was invited in more than 15 countries for meetings and discussions on resource efficiency and cleaner production. Sir has also received Lifetime Achievement Award for Environment Protection from Occupational Safety and Health. Also honored with Distinguished Alumnus Award from SVNIT Surat in the year 2018 and 19 for his outstanding contribution in the field of sustainable development. We are extremely privileged to have your presence today as an expert to deliver a talk on cleaner production, a tool to environment management system. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence. Looking forward for a good knowledge sharing session from your end, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. At the outset, I am sorry that there was some technical leak, so almost 10 minutes I have lost. I apologize for the same and thank you organizers, particularly the specific School of Engineering, my friend Dr. Yogesh and Dr. Taylor for giving me this opportunity. And I believe that up to what time Taylor's up? 7:15 or
7 till 7:20, 7:25, we can take up the session, and post
okay,
that we can question answer round for 5 to 10 minutes.
good. And slightly may I know about the participants. I mean, they are from different colleges, universities, or
Yes,
that
they are environmental auditors, Schedule 1 and 2, as well as professors from various reputed colleges, institutes, and universities. As well as we are having more than 50 or 60 participants outside the Gujarat who are professors as well as research associates as well as auditors.
okay. तो सबको नमस्कार. आई
Namaste.
विश के आई विल जस्टिफाई आप 1 घंटे मुझे झेलेंगे. Sorry, today for last 2 3 days we were busy. There is a reshuffle at top level bureaucracy. So even my boss, who is the chairman of GCPC, also shifted to climate change, Dr. Rahul Gupta, and we have new madam DK Pravina, who was collector at Ahmedabad. So I got stuck up and all that, but today good that I could make out, and I wish that the discussion maybe or maybe useful to you. But you are welcome to tell your feedback, Taylor sir. I request
Sure,
to
sure,
check
sir.
some participants also. So we will start because I told that it is basically on the environment audit, which is a part of environment management. So we'll discuss about environment management, and that is particularly with respect to cleaner production. So as you know that basically what environment is, in a very simple language, the surrounding to us is a part of environment. Then the question is that surrounding to us lot many things, but then we have to manage it because it is an environment. And therefore, environment management is a very important subject, I believe. And therefore, whatever we discussed, that unless we have a proper management of anything, I mean, if you talk of water, we need water management. If we talk of our own life, so there is a management. So for every successful thing, we have to manage. So the manage, particularly if you talk of environment, so it is a balancing the imbalance of ecosystem. So that is first thing, that there is some imbalance of ecosystem. Uh, so ecological balance is also because the planet has been disturbed. Why it is disturbed? It could be man-made. We want development, so industrialization. There is a shifting from a village to urban areas because of jobs. So it is urbanization. Then we want a good transportation. So all this put together, we say that there is a ecosystem is disturbed and it is deteriorated also. So what we have to do, we have to go for conservation, regeneration, and therefore ultimately it is the protection of environment. So therefore management, whenever there is some disturbance or whenever we want a very good balance progress, balance between ecology and economy, we have to go for environment management. So that is what but it is not the recent concept. Particularly if I talk of environment management, it is not during the recent time only. Even in our culture, in ancient eras also, they talk of this environment management. Because if you look at our Rotliwala Sahib, if you don't mind, I will talk something about our culture also, because
Yes,
it
yes,
was
sure,
there.
sir.
It is there. When we talk of environment protection, and if you just refer Vedas, I don't know whether we are teaching Vedas or not, but when I studied in a Hindi medium school of a tribal area of Rajasthan, they taught us Vedas. At that time, we were not aware, but now, if you look from the environment of view, all our Vedas, then we say the beautiful natural environment on earth. And that is what the command the men not to pollute it. It is very clearly mentioned. If you talk of Rig Vedas, there is a mention of earth, water, air, fire, and space. That is all Panchamahavu Tattva. If you just go through the Yajur Veda, they talks about the proportion and piece of all components of earth. That is what we talk, the every living being. If you just refer Earth Veda, they talk of water. Water is very important. And it is said that it is the milk of the Mother Earth. And therefore we call Mother Earth as a Ma, because Ma in our culture is most respectable person. So ultimately all these things, it was already there in our Vedas. And ultimately, if you talk of different components of environment, that in general it is air, space, land, water, fire, and we call it, it is the basically Panchamahabhut Tattva. And friends, you know that in our culture, our even body is also made up of all these five basic elements. So we are subset of whole environment. So whenever there is a disturbance between any two components, air, water, energy, or fire, or space, we also get disturbed. Or if you talk of, for example, of our own body, if we maintain all these basic elements properly, if we take fresh air, do pranayam, if we take food which is in fact needed for us, if we believe the take sun energy and all that, we can keep ourselves fit. And that is same thing applies in our environment. Further, if we talk of environmental protection in Purans also, it's not only Vedas, but in Purans also, if you go Narsi Puran, so they talk of trees, and we call Vaksha Devta. There is a God inside it. If you call of Vara Purans, that is also a regular plantation. They talk of plantation. Matsya Puran, again there is the planting of a single tree. That is very important. And now we are talking of plantation and forestation and all that. Even in Vishnu Puran, God is pleased with a person who does not harm or destroy any non-speaking creatures. So that is what we, in our culture, we take care of small creatures also. And Durga Saptati is also talk of longer mountains, forests, trees, plants. So in fact, if you look at our own culture, we worship these five basically. We worship air, we call Vayu Devta. We worship water, we call Jal Devta. We worship mountains. For me, the Palitana or Sankeshwar or the Himalayas is a holy place. So basically, we worship all these five basic elements of life, and that also environment. Back to our topic, yeah, because my maximum career I have spent with Gujarat Industrial Development Corporation. So the idea is to select a suitable land where we can have industrial estate, because economy strong is only when we have got very good industrialization. So if we talk of our manufacturing clusters in India, these are the states like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and very recently even UP are coming forward uh, towards industrialization. If we talk of Gujarat itself, yeah, so we are leading in pharma, chemicals, textile, and also coming out in automobile and auto component and even IT and others. But basically, look at the chemical and petrochemicals. Almost more than 60% of national production is being produced in Gujarat, followed by pharma, almost 30 plus 33%, and textile and garments also 37%. If you look over the geographical distribution of our state, uh, we have divided, we have developed industrial estates so that we can cover geographically whole Gujarat, which could be have clusters of different sectors like engineering, chemical, textile, mineral waste, agro and pesticide, food processing, plastic, paper, and others also. Uh, from the sector point of view, yeah, we have in Kutch soda ash and all that. If we talk of Jamnagar area, we have petroleum brass parts also in Jamnagar. Engineering, our Rajkot is leading Rajkot and Surendranagar in engineering. But what important for us, and that is what I have shown in pink color, and that is what we call golden corridor between Ahmedabad and Bombay. And here we have mainly the chemical industry, and that is what important for us. Overall industrial development, we started GIDC from the year 1968. So far as on date, we have at around 239 places, having more than 100 different clusters. And we have also developed special economic zones and developing important special investment region. If we talk of region, when we are talking, there's a whole region is being developed. Unfortunately, there is a Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor. You know that Delhi-Mumbai industrial has a freight corridor, and that passes through from Delhi to Bombay, crossing Gujarat and I mean Rajasthan and Gujarat, and then at Bombay, so Maharashtra. And along with this, we are developing very important mega infrastructure projects like Dholera Special Investment Region. So that is what we call SIR under Special Investment Region. So whole region is being developed. One of the important is Dholera, which is about 100 kilometers away from Ahmedabad, where we will be having mainly non-polluting focus sectors, which includes heavy engineering, automobile, auto ancillary, defense, electronics, high-tech technology, agri and food processing, having service sectors, residential sectors, and recreational sectors as well. Another important from our point of view is the petroleum, chemical and petrochemicals. That is at Dahej PCPIR. We call it Dahej PCPIR, the petrochemical and petrochemicals investment region, around 50 kilometer away from Bharuch. Almost we are developing in 500 square kilometer, and all petroleum chemicals related industries, their intermediates of dyes, pharma, agro-base, we are having at the PCPIR. To give you idea of area of Dholera, it is 1.3 times of Singapore whole area. Almost it is being developed in 900 plus square kilometer area. So you can imagine the type of infrastructure which we are providing at Dholera. But for our interest, as I told you, the pink color, and that is the golden corridor between Ahmedabad and Bombay. So right from Ahmedabad to Bombay, we have developed these estates like Naroda, Uddhav, Vatwa. Then at Baroda, we have got Nandesari, and then we have petrochemical complex at Baroda. Further, if you move towards south, we have at Surat, Sachin and Pandesara. Further move near Maharashtra is Vapi and Sarigam. So these estates are having important, having area of almost more than 100 hectare to uh, 5,000 hectares of land or even more. And these are the estates where mainly more than 50% of the area is being developed as a chemical industry. And that is what important for us. But then why, again, back to we need environment management. So when we talk of industrial development, we need a robust environment management system which deals with the, obviously when we talk of environment, then there is a talk of effluent. So the management, having treatment plants, equipment, proper process to liquid, air emission, noise, solid waste, and whatnot. So if you are managing these properly, then they say your environment management system is all right. And when we talk of environment audit, in other way, we have to verify, we have to uh, go through the proper management system of the industry which is to be audited. So that is very important. And the management is also regulates the proper utilization of resources. This is very important. When they talk of proper utilization of resources, I will show you some of the slides because it is related with what we call resource efficiency and cleaner production. So that is what The aim, as you know, the main aim of the environment management process is to minimizing the waste. Generally, in audit, I will show you some slides. We jump to parameters, that inlet parameters and outlet parameters, and then you have to see the system whether that system is managing to bring down the required parameters of like BOD, COD, and all that. No, you have to go beyond that, and that is what the management process is also, that whether they are minimizing waste or not. So once comes the parameter later on. But here, an effective environmental management also, the management process also says how best we are reducing carbon emission, prevents pollution, and helps in processing of all waste and wise usage of energy and resources. So sometime, and that I will show you that in audit, we ignore these things. Friends, no, it's not like that. Because when we talk of rapid growth of population and unplanned urbanization, I should not say unplanned, but it's a ribbon development we call when there is a migration from village to the urban area. So there are many several environmental crises. It's not from industries only, from domestic front also. But since the audit is related with industries, we are discussing with it. So that was the model of development. I want more economy, more industries. My friends, Dr. Hardik Shah, now with PM office, we were working together. He said, no, we want ecology. And that is not the sustainable. One is moving on this direction, another moving in this direction, and we were not reaching to any desire. Am I clear about my voice and slides? Clear, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
I am continuing. So that is not the sustainable model, but good. Here is the point that we started industrial development right from 1968, and then we talk of inviting industries, providing them plot, and once they start production, we say, okay, go ahead. Though Water Act 1974 was there, honestly, Rotliwala Sahib, we have never studied at that time. There was EP Act 1986. We were not aware. Good. Good, there was a historical judgment, as you know, that under Special Civil Application 770 of 95. And fortunately, I was one of the person attending that discussion because a simple 15 paisa postcard later was written by Praful Bhai Patel, having industries in Kheda down to the side of our Ahmedabad area. And he had written a simple letter in Gujarati, addressing in Gujarati Shri Namdar High Court, Judge Sahib, Ahmedabad. In Hindi, it is Honorable, rather in English, Honorable uh, Judge of Gujarat High Court, Ahmedabad. And that letter was sent to this High Court. The then Honorable Justice P.N. Kripal, B.N. Kripal, Bridgenarayan Kripal, just saw the letter, asked his subordinate कि भाई इसको मुझे translate करो हिंदी में क्या कह रहे हैं. He translated that, sir, I am a small farmer near Kheda on the downstream of Ahmedabad, and for last so many days in my well from which I do agriculture and farming, I am getting colored water. It smells, and I am afraid there is something which is not fit for the human being or my cattle, or even not fit for my farming, my cattle also. With one letter of 15 paisa, there was a CO motto of this SCS 770 of 1995. And immediately we were served a notice from High Court. We means GIDC, then Gujarat Pollution Control Board, and then Government of Gujarat. And then what is this? Then we realize that from our industries, the effluent somehow through groundwater met with some well of that agriculture farming, and that is creating problem because that effluent is toxic. The first time we heard a knowledge about toxic, and that waste is generated from our industries, which includes air emission and solid waste. And the honorable just said, what is this? Who is responsible for maintaining proper environment of state? Obviously, it is Gujarat Pollution Control Board. And the then secretary, Ms. G.C. Verdi, was also summoned to the High Court. And he said, sir, of course, we are responsible for maintaining environment of the state. But, sir, we do not have enough strength, enough manpower, enough technological people, technocrats who can monitor round the clock all these industries. And therefore, friends, as you know, in very first lecture of Jigisha must have explained the few things came, and that was very important. One thing that you have to evaluate what is this, and then you examine the manufacturing activity, and there is a effluent, so you have to treat. First time we learned in the year 95-96 the treatment that yeah there is effluent from our industry and we have to treat it. And on the same judgment, they say if you cannot monitor, and first time the scheme of environment audit emerged from the this judgment. When they say that where GPCB has not been able to effectively examine, evaluate the adequacy of different ETPs and all that, you have to have some monitoring system which can work as an extended arm of pollution control board who can on behalf of pollution control board can examine, can audit. So the word has come from the judgment, and it is a historical judgment because two things have emerged which are very important. One is our environment audit schemes. Then we developed Schedule 1 and Schedule 2, probably you know. And another that, well, your industries are discharging something, so you should have some treatment. And from that judgment, these two things, historical judgment has given very two important tool. One is environment audit, which we are discussing, and you have been discussing for our lectures. Another is you have to treat it. And for treatment, what do? We go to a doctor. So at that time, our doctor was NERI, National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, Nagpur. Professor late Dr. Khanna from IIT. He was professor at IIT Bombay. He was director of NERI, and we approached him, sir, this is something. And then he said, okay, you have to go for a proper environmental management system and also environmental audit. And the model has come, act, plan, do, check, and that is a part of environment. And they say that, and that you know that what environment audit is a part of environment management, and it is facilitating to control of environment practiced by a company or manager. So these are the objective, and that is what we needed for the sustainable development. I will not go in detail because you know what is the audit team. It must have been discussed. And what do we do here? Then they say treatment. So if you look at the model of treatment, the waste stream from each reactor of an industry is collected at what we call at end of pipe, treat and dispose. So that was the model given by NIRI at individual level, individual industry, partially they have to do like this. But Gujarat is leading in cooperative. You know, we have got a cooperative market. We have got APMC, for example. We have got cooperative dairy. So many cooperative society. So he also said Gujarat can go for a very effective environment management through what they call common effluent treatment plants. Friends, in the year 95-96, for the first time, we we just learned about common effluent treatment plant. And for the first time, a common effluent treatment plant was constructed at Vapi. We were involved in treatability studies, of course, with the support of NIRI, and detail engineering was done by Messrs. Kirloskar Consultant. And first time it was constructed and commissioned in the year 96 and 97 of 55 MLD. That was the first CETP at Vapi. And then, because we have to do it, followed up, as on date, we have got common effluent treatment plants, which is state of art because we are treating heterogeneous effluent from different sector of industries. So as on date, we have got at 43 places. And well, the number of CETPs in Tamil Nadu are more than that. But in Gujarat, we are leading in creating a treatment capacity of almost 900 MLD, 900 million liters per day. So that treatment facilities we have in Gujarat. That is not enough. Solid waste is generated through process waste also, through our treatment also, primary and secondary sludge. So we have again provided what we call TSDF. There is something misleading: transportation, storage, disposal facilities, or treatment, storage, and disposal facilities. There is no treatment. We are just collecting solid waste from ETPs, CETPs, and process waste from different industries, and we go for secured landfill site. So as on date, we have got at 25 places. Again, that is not enough. They say that even treated wastewater is also required to discharge at a safe point. So for the first time in Gujarat, we have provided a facilities of deep sea disposal into the deep sea for our Dahej 40 MLD plus for 90 MLD disposal line into the deep sea. Again, for Ankleshwar, Panoli, Jagadia, which is Narda Clean Tech, we have almost 75 MLD disposal facilities, 55-kilometer pipeline, 12 kilometer into the deep sea. So that is offshore, and rest is onshore. And deep sea with diffuser arrangement so that to achieve almost to 200 times dilution. So that is what we have executed. Again, we are improving our common facilities. So at 4 places we have common sprayed air, common multi-effective evaporator. We are continuously ambient air monitoring. So that is what the environment management we have, and we claim that we are leading in providing this system. Good, we thought that it is very good, but then there's SEPI. Probably many of my participants might be aware that there's a comprehensive environmental pollution index. This study was done by some IIT students of Delhi in 2009 and again in 2018. And based on their study, they have come out that, well, part of study is debatable, but that is not the topic. I don't want to go into debate because we argued a lot many things against the study. So based on that study, they have come out that these area of our country, almost all industrial area, Maharashtra, MP, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and even in Gujarat. So these area particularly of Gujarat like Baroda, Ankleshwar, Vapi, Surat, Ahmedabad, Vatwa, and right up to Morbi, all that are critically polluted area based on the SEPI index. That was a comprehensive environment pollution index. Once you are in critical polluted area, you cannot have new industry. And even your existing industries cannot augment their production. It is a matter of survival. If you have given consent of some industry to produce, so for example, 100 ton per year, and he wants to go for addition of that production, no. If you are under SEPI, you cannot do it. My point here that, as I told you, the facilities like common effluent treatment plant, TSDF, common multi-effect evaporator, incense, whatnot, where we in Gujarat have spent 1,000 crore. Money from financial institutions, money from industries, and money from government. And when we have spent these schemes with the end of pipe concept, then why SEPI is there? What does it mean? That there is something in our environment management is missing. So point is here, and that is what the treatment we have adopted as a end of pipe. You generate waste, collect at one point, treat, and then dispose. So when there is a SEPI, what does it mean? The model is something like this. Very sensitive. Very sensitive on ecology, very sensitive on economy, If my industries, because our parameter are based on concentration. For example, if parameter BOD is given for the discharge 100 mg per liter, for example, if I am discharging 101, I am at fault. If someone else is discharging 99, you save. So very sensitive parameter, very sensitive balance of end of pipe, because as you know that I'm attached with number of common effluent treatment plant. I know how difficult it is when it is a very complex waste batch processes. Sometimes you get huge volume, sometimes you get less volume, and then you have to manage and ensure that your treatment facility is meeting the required norms. Friends, really, I've been associated right from WAPI to number of CETPs. It is a difficult. Though we have got very good technology and treatment and all that, somewhere, something, at some time, we are missing to achieve some parameters. Point what I'm showing, that end of pipe solution is also not a final solution. It is not part of sustainable development. If I want more industries, my ecology friends say, no, 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 no. My ecology is disturbed. If I talk lot about ecology, then my economy is disturbed. Because with that one judgment, I just forgotten to inform you, with that one judgment under SCS 770, the first judgment was close these industries. Close these industries which are located in and around Ahmedabad. What does it mean? Industries are closed. It is not a problem for the owner of the industry, but the problem of those poor guys who are working with the industries. It could be 20, 40, 50, multiply by 5, their family members. So what will happen to them? So therefore, the balance was not proper. It is a very sensitive balance. And then we realize that end of pipe is not only the solution. So we have to go for something more than that. And then we discuss what could be the solution. Then we thought of, rather we are still trying green chemistry. Idea is to minimize waste, and that is very important. Now at some process we are managing with green chemistry. There is a green chemistry foundation at Bombay. Students from IIT Bombay are working on it, and at few processes we could able to have the success stories on green chemistry. We talk of circular economy, and very first step of circular economy is also cleaner production. That's to reduce waste right at its source, and that is what the resource efficiency lecture. Green chemistry, cleaner production, better service, and then the product is collected at the end of life. But again, there is a remanufacturing, refurbishing, and back to the cycle of the process. So that is circular economy also. But all that say, we now talk of cleaner production, and that is resource efficiency and cleaner production. And friends, for your information, we have included this in your audit also. If you look at the your on part B, where you have to submit inspection and submission of audit report. Look at the point number 8. The auditor shall pursue and emphasize the industries about adaptation of cleaner production, public clean technology. Why? Because is he going for any waste minimization? Is there any waste reduction, waste exchange, or reuse and recycle of effluent? All these things are supposed to be part of your environment audit report. I have gone through number of audit reports, and friends, in most of the audit reports, the auditors are not able to clear cut point out such important points of resource efficiency. Friends, you know that the resources are limited. We have only one earth. If you talk of minerals, if you talk of sources of energy, if you talk of water, it is limited. The population of Earth is being increased and increased, and there is a time where there is imbalance between demand and supply. So what we are trying to do is resource efficiency, and that has to be your part under point number 8 of part B of your environment audit report. So again, back to that from reactive approach. Earlier it was passive, just to ignore pollution, which we did before this historical judgment. Then reactive, somewhere cases of dilution, dispersion. Then constructive, just end of pipe, under which we have constructed number of CETPs. And now we talk of proactive, beyond compliance we talk. And that is what the concept of cleaner production. So again here, step towards, it is not the control only, but from control to the cleaner production. So here, what we study, we don't study BOD, COD levels. We study what is waste. Because waste is not waste until it is wasted. Generally, waste is being looked as a uh, something problematic, but see waste as a resource, not liability. So sustainable energy starts with the sustainable waste management, which is very important. So if you talk of waste, it is not directly the treatment, but at the first step, it is a proactive. How best I have to reduce my waste? So I should understand what waste I am generating, why I am generating, when I am generating, and what I am generating. And if you do that, then it is a misplaced resource. And why industry would be interested? You can show money in their waste. So I converted WSTS as a dollar, and in that money that looks edgy, you are losing your money, you are wasting your money in this waste when you show some resources, valuable resources in the west. And that is the model, what we call cleaner production, where ecology and economy are working together. So, for example, I am member of number of committees of pollution control board, and there are member of number of committees of our industrial development. So once the industry enters, we talk waste management, how best we reduce, recycle, reuse, recover, and then whatever left out, go for the treatment. And good that this is now a part of your UN environment management also. There is a ladder developed by United Nations, where earlier first step no management, then slowly. But if you look at the top steps, it is cleaner production, and then we talk of eco-industrial park. So that is what the definition. It is a continuous environmental strategy. It is preventive and it is integrated. It is not one-time activity like effluent treatment plant. It also applies to the process, because when we go for environment audit, we just look at their environment management system. So that is only their APC or solid waste management or ETP. No, through process, products, and the services which are there in the industry, the idea is to risk reduction to humans and to improve environment. So with that concept, United Nations and UNIDO, that is United part of Industrial Development Organization, that is United Nations Industrial Development Organization, thought of that why everything at the end of pipe. And way back in 1995, they came out with the concept of this cleaner production, and later on resource efficiency and cleaner production. Then they approached to Government of India in 1998 and 1999, where we have been discussing about common effluent treatment plant. And by that time, at 4 or 5 places, we already commissioned, and they said, no, you have to go for resource efficiency. Gujarat being one of the highly industrial state. So initially they selected 3 states, Karnataka, Punjab and Gujarat. For some reason, Punjab and Karnataka did not survive, but we are managing, we are still working. So first time that cleaner production center was established initially in GIDC in 2008 and 9. And then later on, we have separate entity as a registered society and trust act. As on that, in all world, we have got at 70 countries, and we have got networking of this resource efficiency and cleaner production of all these countries. So I'm also associated. I'm also part of executive committee of Asia and Asia Pacific countries of like Cambodia, Laos, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, China, and India. So we are working together, networking, and that what we have come out with number of partners working at international, national, and state level also. The main object, because we have developed as a professional center, we are not taking any grant from government. We are managing because we are getting some international projects, some national projects. Idea is have some research and development through green chemistry, and then we are also working as an advisory services to the industry, to the government, and we are also providing policy support. So when we talk of cleaner production, friends, this is one problem. If my participants are there, uh, you have to solve this problem of 9 dot with 4 lines without lifting your pen or pencil. The problem is how to join these lines with only 4 lines, and you have to join all these 9 points, but you have not to lift your pen. So that is what the problem I is giving you. You can try, spend a minute or two. You can unmute and say, yeah, I have solved it. Otherwise, I will solve here. Very simple. You have to join these 9 dots. If somebody is there and not tired, they can try. Shall I?
Yes, V Babu, you raise your hand. You can unmute and you can guide.
Yeah. You can take from 9.23 and
Mhm.
1. You have to take one more.
So two
Slightly, we
lines.
have to take out of the box. We have to go
Yes,
and we
yes,
have
yes, my dear friend. Good. So whenever there is a problem, generally what we think solution within the box. Very rightly you said, when we talk of resource efficiency, you have to go beyond the box. You are very right. So you are right in that way. I am going outside the box. Look, from 2 I just moved outside. Again joining line 4. So generally we have to think outside the box. And that is very important when we talk of environment audit, because we are limited ourselves thinking people of pollution control board, part of pollution control board, and then looking at the solution of inlet BOD, inlet COD, going through the consent, what are the parameters given, what environment management system he has, whether he is achieving BOD as per the stipulated norms of 30, 100, or what it may be, and it's all right. No, friends. You have to go beyond that, and that is very important. So here, if you look, what is the basic input of any manufacturing plant? The utilities is like a water, energy and steam, raw materials and catalysts generally. And then what the output for industry is only product and byproduct. That's all. So for the rest, he is not bothered, and that is what it could be wastewater, anything spent acids, carbon, process waste, ETP. और बोलता नहीं ये मेरा वेस्ट है सर हाँ मारू वेस्ट है okay. I am bothered about product and byproduct. So for auditors also, what do we do? What is the input? Inlet parameters given by GPCB in their consent, outlet parameters, and then we said okay, EMC is all right. Somewhere is missing something, and we are advising to make proper system and all that. Air emission is like this. Talk of emission and only the disposal parameter. But the focus of auditors should go between these reactors where they generate waste. So there, right from the input, when we talk of waste, then look at the waste, what it is, why it is, when it is, how it is. These four questions you should also ask इंडस्ट्री के सर आपका ये वेस्ट आप कह रहे हैं आप ईटीपी में भेज रहे हैं गुड आपका ईटीपी बाद में देंगे पहले ये बताओ कि वेस्ट है क्या अगर आपका मदर लिकर है व्हाट इट इज कंटेंट्स when you are getting mother liquors why you are getting mother liquor of this volume keep asking these questions so here what is the difference you can think of alternate fuel resources and the difference in this model earlier you are collecting waste from each stream and then jump to the treatment no here you go for segregation of waste stream the very first step is identification of waste stream sir मुझे बताओ from reactor 1 to reactor 2 if you are discharging there is the input of raw material there is the utility there is the catalyst and then you take from your output from reactor 1 to reactor 2 oh there is a waste stream what it is again from other all reactors so here you have to identify waste streams waste from each reactor and then keep on asking why what is quantity and for that you have to go for waste characterization and once you know what does it contain develop cleaner production opportunity so that is the difference between end of pipe and this model methodology I will not go in detail because you can collect it but that is what important you have to start with the flow drive just like a auditor steps only nothing new but here once just stop when there is a process analyzing the process steps then waste stream identification as I told you and then once you know कि ये वेस्ट में ये है you generate cleaner production opportunities with the very important tools you can apply tools and then develop that opportunities and then you give first to industry के सर ये try करिए आप from reactor 1 to reactor 2 इतना अगर आपका जा रहा है तो let us see there is a possibility of reducing the volume of that waste there is a possibility of using that waste stream somewhere else or there is a possibility of minimizing this while changing some process and then after generating CP options you select which is you have to review it from technical feasibility has to be technical feasible बहुत बड़ी हाई टेक्नोलॉजी दे देंगे तो वो नहीं कर पाएगा हाउ फार इट इज टेक्निकल feasible and financial viable and ultimately it has to improve overall environment then you just give the implementation program to the industry and just you have to maintain that CP so what is the difference here in end of pipe it is one time activity inlet outlet here if you identify 10 15 20 waste streams first you are audit focusing one waste stream complete it go for next go for next and then keep on so it is a continuous process so far tools are concerned very simple the best way to reduce source is reduction at source itself if you look at your body आप डॉक्टर के पास कब जाएंगे ट्रीटमेंट के लिए जब आप बीमार होंगे तो अभी तो हमारा मिशन लाइफ में भी योगा इज इम्पोर्टेंट हेल्दी स्टाइल ऑफ लाइफ कीप योर बॉडी फिट गो फॉर योगा गो फॉर प्राणायाम अब बीमारी नहीं होंगे और अगर होते हैं तो यू टू जस्ट अटैक एट सोर्स कि आई एम गेटिंग फीवर तो फीवर को तो मैं ट्रीट बाद में करूंगा बट व्हाई आई एम गेटिंग फीवर इज इट ड्यू टू इंडाइजेशन ऑफ माय स्टमक so you have to attack at your digestion system very similarly here when you go for source reduction simple tools is good housekeeping we have done number of projects I will show you some case studies in MSME particularly they are needed so housekeeping is very their steam pipeline the insulation the water taps the electricity point their the handling practices of raw material to the reactor and all that so best way is to good housekeeping which you can do just walkthrough. Another is process change. Look at the chemistry, look at the stoichiometry, whether it's following that stoichiometry, whether it's following the mole to mole reaction, and then you go for better process control, ask for the better equipment modification, possibility of raw material changes. If they are using toxic raw material, they are going to generate toxic waste. Think of some non-toxic raw material. And as also technology change, as I told you, green chemistry and number of others. Then think of how best you can go recycling of your waste within vicinity, or is there any possibility of byproduct? And sometimes also you can suggest product modification. It's number of cases of good housekeeping, no technology, just you have to go through how they are arranging. These are some case studies which we have done at Mauritius. Their textile industry, their roof design is a glass panel, so they did not use electricity. Their everything was in very proper, their store and everything. Then there are number of checklists, materials, water, storage. These are the checklists of good housekeeping, how they are procuring materials, what is the quality of materials, what waste they are generating, how they are storage and handling, how they are using water, what is the source of water, how are they are good at energy efficiency and workplace and safety, which yesterday Dr. Parikh has explained. So number of success stories we have done where we could able to go for uh, even flooring we have changed. We could able to get some mother liquor, which was a byproduct for certain industries. And then also there are some cases where we could use their waste as a resources for the next industry. There are a number of raw material substitutions where we went for the, for example, in cement industry, one of the important raw materials is lateral rock, which is the important mineral. So now our thermal power plants are generating huge waste, which are being collected in pond. And then after that point, we are able to provide that ash from that pond to the cement industry, which has substituted almost 20% of your mineral rock. So that is what there are cases of better process control. Look at their simple thing like pressure gauge, yeah, their temperature, whether they are following, whether their pressure gauge are working, और वो सिंपल इतना बोलते हाँ 3 बार का प्रेशर हो गया है 120 डिग्री हो गया है चार्ज कर लो. Are they using properly their installation of temperature and pressure gauge is proper? Then there are number of process control cases. We have got one bromine plant where we could able to increasing the length of itself, and we could able to save money and environment as well. Few equipment modification, not technology. So it is a centrifuge. We have provided more wafer walls, so efficiency increases. Again, the newt filter, we have got now agitate it through agitator. It takes less time and separation takes place early. There are a number of technology changes. Example, where there is a continuous condense cleaning system. So you need not take a shutdown. There is also, as I told you, the creation of useful byproduct in one of manganese sulfate, which was the raw material for this monocovis plant, where the mother liquor was, they were sending for the treatment. We realized that there is a possibility of recovery of some very important, and now that important manganese carbonate has come out as a byproduct, which is a sellable, and they are able to generate revenue, and there is no hazardous waste generation. There are number of cases which is very simple. The boiler feed. So again, condensate, and then it is feeding to the boiler. This is one of the example of cement industry near Mehsana, where they were having waste air, and they were just blowing outside. So we could able to collect that, brought it on the floor, on the rooftop, sorry, and then we installed a very small windmill, and through that waste air which was wasted earlier, now they are running that windmill and generating electricity. So number of examples. There are another example of product modification. This is example of Thailand paper industry. something funny story because probably you know that in European countries they are using tissue paper in their toilet. They call it toilet tissue papers. In our Asian countries, we use water. They say no, we are more hygienic using paper. We say no, we are more hygienic using water in our WC. So this is one of the examples. The Thailand paper industry was supplying tissue paper, toilet tissue paper to German country, Germany, and they were having this type of light something fragrance and something colored. And one day, because if you visit Germany and any of their mall and shop, for each product they have LCA, life cycle analysis. So before buying that product, they just go through the LCA and look how the raw material is being procured, how much environment is hampered, how being it is processed, how I will use and I will dispose it of. And then they realize the product consists of chemicals in terms of some color and fragrance. And they say, oh, the tissue paper is not environment friendly product. And they were sorry. They said, we don't want to buy this thing. So the Thailand paper, which was very famous, they consulted our expert, Dr. P.K. Gupta, who was working for more than 10 cleaner production centers in India and outside India. And he said, Gupta ji, I'm worried. Our product is now, they are not buying. The very simple question was asked that why do you have this color and even fragrance? Do it help in solving the constitution problem in lighter tone? If they are using in their toilet, will the colored or the fragrance paper will help in their releasing of constipation? I said, no, 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 no. They are simply using it. And then what they do after using, or they will flush it. Then he said, then remove color. We are removing chemical, remove fragrance also. Only the ash color white tissue paper without any color, without any fragrance. You label it environment friendly. Don't decrease the cost. You are decreasing cost by decreasing cost of chemicals in terms of color or fragrance. So your cost will go down, but don't, and you label it most eco-friendly tissue paper. So simple case of this product modification. And there are number of examples of our using natural dyes instead of synthetic dyes. So what do we do? We take up cleaner production assessment industry, and that is the source of revenue generation, because I don't want to be a very peculiar or typical government department. No, we have to work professionally. So these are the indicators. We just look at what is the present water consumption, then we suggest cleaner production, so that we look how much we could able to reduce their water consumption. Once the water consumption is reduced, wastewater generation would be reduced. We are giving them some clues of energy conservation, so their energy consumption will go down. We also talk of carbon footprints, air emission, and solid waste generation. So these are the indicators, and it is a part of our sustainable development goals, SDGs. Friends, you know that United Nations have come out in 2015 with these 17 sustainable development, and they say that if along with your development, if you are achieving these goals, then that development is sustainable. If you look at it, the very first is no poverty. So our development should address those poverty people. For example, in our country, 32% are living below poverty line. So to see that how best we can remove their from poverty. So one of the solution, have more agriculture, more industries, more involvement of those people, and that will also address zero hunger. It is related. Poverty is there, so hungerness is there. And then keep on going for all that. What important for our resource efficiency and cleaner production, we are addressing Goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. We look also the sanitation and hygienic condition of the industry. It may not be part of your environment audit, but as a part of SDG, we also just move around, look at the workers, look at their safety point, which were discussed by Dr. Parikh yesterday. Then we also look at what renewable energy or clean energy is being used. You can advise. So working in that industry, you are going as an environment auditor, not only focus the parameters, go beyond that, go for water, what quality of water they are providing, what type of energy they are using, and descend work and economic growth. Further, we talk of industry. Yeah, we want industry, we are developing, and very important, which is missing innovation. But very sorry to say, we are having very little innovation in our processes. Though through our startup schemes, number of good startup are emerging where there is an innovation, and then we talk of infrastructure. And when I talk of innovation, it is reduction of waste, recycle, reuse, recover, refurbishing, remanufacturing, and that is what I told circular economy. We talk of required inequalities, and then very important when we talk of urbanization, it has to be sustainable cities and committees. An important production, responsible consumption, production. As a consumer also, I am also responsible. How do I use that product and then how I throw it? So very important, responsible consumption. At the same time, for the producer, responsible production. So ultimately, it will address what we call uh, climate action. Then we think of life below water. We have provided disposal line, deep sea line. We are monitoring. At every 2 years, we go for the marine ecological monitoring, spend money, and we involve a very reputed institution like National Institute of Oceanography to monitor. We pay 70 to 80 lakhs, and they come out, yeah. So far, we are achieving 200 times of treated wastewater dilution. So there is no damage to the life below water, so is life above water. Ultimately, it is peace and justice and partnership. Very important. We have got very good PP model in our Gujarat. There are a number of case studies which we have. So that is main thing. As I told you that awareness program like this. The next step, the cleaner production assessment in wheeling industries, and that is what we are able to mm, go for implementation of our cleaner production, getting savings. In end of pipe, there is a linear economy. You provide effluent treatment plant, CETP, then you don't get anything back. In cleaner production, once you implement, then you are having a calculated returns on your investment. So we calculate RIL that maybe after 6 months or a year or two, whatever investment you have done, the money will come back. In many cases, you look, the payback period was hardly 8 months, somewhere 6 months, 8 months, and like that. And that is why the important industries when we show money in their waste. So number of sectors we have covered: agro, chemical, cement manufacturing, and then chloroalkali, paint industries, textile industries, then dairy, and not only that, in service sectors like hospitals, like resource, and here we could able to reduce their water, so as their wastewater generation is reduced, and energy and uh, uh, solid waste generation. So these are what we have taken up. Number of programs like this, good opportunities given. But for resource efficiency, we are addressing to the industries and academic institutions. This is very important. And then we talk of we are working for Jal Jeevan Mission, adequate and safe water in the rural area, ensuring the quality of water, and also suggesting grey water management. Then it is very important training on different waste stream like e-waste management, because in Gujarat we have got more than 50 e-waste recyclers Some of them are at level 1, level 2, and level 3 also. So that is what we are providing training. Then we are also training on the performance evaluation of ETP and CETP. This was done for the officers of Pollution Control Board. They wanted, and that is what the different type. And this is very important because in most of the European countries or in other part of world, there is a very good interaction between industry and academia. So here there was a missing link. Industries were doing themselves as if they are doing right. Academia were busy in finishing because target finishing the syllabus, conducting exam and all that, and government or facilitator simply watching them. So probably you know that under this interlinking we invite abstracts of the final year BTech, MTech, and PhD scholars. Then there is a committee who decide which is the best paper, and then we provide some financial, and we also invite industry. So if industries think that that fellow may be useful to us, then he can engage that particular researchers. So household also very important. As I told you that domestic front is equally important. If you talk of paper waste, food waste, electrical and electronic waste, energy. So we also train housewives, and we also have model of cleaner production in household. As you know that we are also working on how best we can convert or retrofit of or some of existing industrial estate into eco-industrial park. In developed countries, the eco EIP are very famous. So here we are trying. We have taken up two industrial assets at micro level. We see that more and more we do resource efficiency, their energy, proper environment management, disaster management, health and safety, proper green belt. Then we go at macro level, that is at estate level, proper network of infrastructure like roads, stormwater, green belt, proper CETPs, and proper TSDF and all this facility. And very important task for you friends also, industrial symbiosis. That is what we are working, how best we can use waste of one industry to other industry, following rule 9 through proper SOP, special operating practices. So here we have done some projects with the help of UNIDO expert, Professor Suren Akman from Lausanne University, Dr. Rene from Curtin University, Australia. They helped us. So that is what we are working, getting at pilot studies. We could able to collect some. We have done some for some industries like 28. We could able to reduce their water, their waste, energy conservation. Another at micro level, again at industry level, we could able to reduce their carbon footprints. So at macro common level, we are talking of common boiler. We have got very good spent acid management at Vatwa. Very soon at Ankleshwar and Vapi, we are going to have. So we collect their spent acid. Earlier, it is being utilized by lime generating solid waste. So now here we are collecting uh, spent acid, and at one point, and we are utilizing with hydrated lime, converting a solid waste which is nothing but gypsum, and that is being sent to cement industry. So we are also talking of recycle and reuse of treated wastewater. One of our CETP at Nandesari, we are working with forward osmosis. Also, there are for solid waste, you know that we have got very good GPS tracking systems. We are also designing their stormwater drains, common facilities, which is missing in most of our industrial park, like public toilets, using more solar panel and using bicycles within the estate if you want to move. So this is what there is a one paper published for us in UNIDO. It was there in UNIDO website also. That is what the success stories. Very recently, we have come out with the best available techniques reference document for textile. Probably you know that in European countries they have brief document for each product. So whenever you want to go for production, you can refer this, which is available in their public domain, and directly you can implement those techniques for the first time in our country. GCPC with the support of Pollution Control Board we were authors. We have come out this BREF document, which is there on the website of Pollution Control Board. As you know, that a subject is also included in the curriculum at a graduate and postgraduate level. Fortunately, our book is being used as a reference, and good that to motivate industry, because unless encourage industry and go for the attitudinal change, honorable prime minister, when he was chief minister here, he also instituted, no, okay, you should encourage industry and institute a cleaner production award, and that is given by the government forest and environment department of government of Gujarat. For the first time, honorable cm, when he was cm, the award is given, and it is continuous. It is given to the industry who has done the good, best exemplary implementation of cleaner production, reducing their water, wastewater, solid waste, and all that. Not only that, we have very good financial assistance scheme in our industrial policy. So whosoever implement this cleaner production, the 35% of the project cost with the limit of rupees 35 lakhs is being reimbursed by the government through Industries Commissionerate. I'm part of that committee. So that is what I'm trying to put that in environment audit. There's a pair of cleaner production. We have to do that. Then as a subject, we are teaching. As a awareness program, we are conducting to the students and industries to encourage and motivate industry, cleaner production award, and a financial assistance under industrial policy as well. So that is what we call the win-win situation. And you know that we are working on mission life, which is very important. We have to go for the adaptation and mitigation of climate change. These are the 7 things where it is same thing: cleaner production, energy conservation, water conservation, single use of plastic, healthy lifestyle, sustainable food systems, zero waste, and e-waste recycling. So we are also doing this. We're also working, as you know that, yeah, why this slide is here. There is a test. All my auditors friend have to go for this test also, not related to me, but yeah, these are the important parameters. Yesterday we had enough water. Today at cost, you have to buy, you have to pay money. But if we are not vigilant, tomorrow we may have to face this situation, which is very precious resources. Similarly, energy. Yesterday we had enough. Fortunately, our Gujarat is power plus, but today it is at cost. You know that tariff in power in Gujarat is the highest. But if we are not vigilant, tomorrow we have to face this situation. Very similar waste. Earlier no waste. Today we are generating huge waste. And unless we do a proper management, I'm afraid tomorrow we may have to face this situation. Thank you for your patience. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us.
Some more time,
Yes,
sorry. Yeah.
sir. No, sir. We are absolutely on time.
Right. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for enlightening us with various practices of cleaner production. Is there any question from the participants? You may please raise your hand if anybody has. Yes, by Nagle, sir. Okay. You may please try to unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. It was a nice presentation and a lot of things we get to know about the cleaner production and all. I mean, as an auditor, it's a little bit difficult for me to enter into the process area because, it's not possible for me to be an expert on the processes of this thing. So I normally keep myself restricted to the utilities part of it. That is the sizing of the steam pipeline or the steam this thing. For one, this thing, I can give you an example that, superheated steam was passing into one plant and, de-superheating and taking it to saturation could save their time and energy and this thing. But normally I keep restricted to only the utilities part of it because it's difficult for me to really comment on their processes, which have a lot of intellectual property aspects. Can you throw some light on this, sir?
Yeah, sure. Naga sir, thank you. Thank you for raising this. even whatever you have done for utilities is also part of cleaner production. For example, in one of our waste paper recycling industry in Vapi, we are also conduct thermography, heat losses, and just because of improper steam trap and poor insulation. So that is also very important. So, but when you go beyond that, what I suggest, even I am not expert, sir, Nagle sir,
Yes, sir.
I am not expert nahi hai cleaner production. But what we do,
Right.
we select a person who has been working in that industry, बिल्कुल फ्लोर पे काम करने वाला, उसके कंधे पे हाथ रखे, थोड़ा बीड़ी बीड़ी चाय पिला के उसको बोलना कि ये थोड़ा वेस्ट निकल रहा, क्या कहना है, तो ही विल कम आउट. वेरी सिंपल एग्जांपल, इफ टाइम परमिट्स, फॉर एग्जांपल कि सर ये मोटर गर्म हो रही है, क्यों हो रही है, कि सर इसके बेरिंग गए, सेठ जी ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल करंट ज्यादा ले रही है, he knows little about it. But then we realize that just because of some poor maintenance of that particular motor which is consuming more current, तो एक ऑप्शन उससे मिल जाता है. दूसरा ऑप्शन
True,
सर,
true.
व्हाट आई अंडरस्टैंड, probably in our audit team, we have a chemical engineer, and therefore we keep asking when I'm part of that environment audit committee also about the stoichiometry. तो आप इंडस्ट्री से इतना तो पूछ सकते हैं कि सर आपका ये जो हो रहा है प्रोसेस में, मैं ज्यादा नहीं कह रहा हूँ, बट आर यू फॉलोइंग प्रॉपर stoichiometry of that particular product? Sir, to my surprise, many time when we work in small scale industry, he may not aware about the stoichiometry. उसने किसी कंसल्टेंट से प्रोसेस डिजाइन कराया है और उसको तो प्रोडक्ट आ रहा है, पैसे आ रहा है, उसका वेस्ट सीईटीपी में जा रहा है, वो बोल रहा है सर मैं मेंबर हूँ सीईटीपी का, मैं वाटर सेस दे रहा हूँ, मैं बॉयलर वाले को दे रहा हूँ, मैं इसको दे रहा हूँ, मैं इसको दे रहा हूँ, 15 मेरे जैसे 15 इंस्पेक्टर्स है उनको दे रहा हूँ, आई एम हैप्पी. उसको हम ये बता रहे हैं कि नहीं, स्टोकियोमेट्री और मोल टू मोल रिएक्शन की थोड़ी स्टडी करवा और खुद देख के तेरा रॉ मटेरियल जो अनरिएक्टेड मास आ रहा है, एंड दैट इज यू आर कॉलिंग वेस्ट. इफ यू कैन रिड्यूस इट, तो तेरा प्रोडक्शन ये बढ़ेगा, बिकॉज इन मेनी इंडस्ट्रीज सर द प्रोडक्शन यील्ड इज हार्डली 70 to 75%. What does that mean? That 25% which is unreacted mass, which is arising because of inefficiency of utilities itself. तो मेरा जो अनुभव है, जो मैंने केस स्टडी सर बताई है, वी हैव डॉक्यूमेंटेड, वो इस बेस पे ही बताई है, और उनको ये कह दिया है कि भाई आप ये एक क्राइटेरिया ये कर दो कि आपके ईटीपी में लिक्विड वेस्ट भेज रहे हो, वो हम रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं कि नहीं, बिकॉज मोर वॉल्यूम यू आर पेइंग मोर टूवर्ड्स ट्रीटमेंट चार्जेस, more solid waste generation, more yeah, I'm there, can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you very well.
सॉलिड वेस्ट जनरेट हो रहा है, तो उसमें अगर आप कम कर रहे हैं, एनर्जी बचा रहे हैं, तो नागले साहब उसमें क्या करना है, एक तो दो चीजें सर, क्योंकि मैं एनवायरमेंट ऑडिट की स्कीम बनाने से इन्वॉल्व था, वो जजमेंट में था, एक तो हमें उनके फॉल्ट फाइंडिंग मिशन में नहीं जाना, वी आर नॉट गोइंग उनकी एक गलती निकालना.
Yeah, we are the friends, not fault.
Yeah, sir. And therefore उनका फ्रेंड बन के जाना है.
True.
तो पहली मीटिंग में once you go for this walk through, उनको ये कहना है कि देखिए nobody is perfect, even I am not perfect. तो कहीं ऐसा वो उसकी चिंता मत करो, हमारा टारगेट है how best you improve your production yield. और सर प्रोडक्शन yield तभी improve होगी when process is improved, when waste is generated. And therefore what we are trying, of course it is not that easy. In lighter tone, शुरू में मेरे बाल रोटली वाला सर से भी अच्छे थे सर, और मैं अनुपम खेर बन गया इंडस्ट्रीज को कन्विंस करने में. इट इज अ वेरी गुड मैनेजमेंट टूल एंड विच हैड टेकन ऑलमोस्ट 10 years. पर अब हमको पैसे ही बता रहे हैं, अब उनको पैसे बता रहे हैं, अब हमको सिंपल गुड हाउसकीपिंग का बता रहे हैं. एक मिनट ले लूं टेलर साहब?
हाँ सर. सर यू कैन स्टॉप शेयरिंग योर स्क्रीन.
नाजला इंडस्ट्रीज नरोडा, मेरे फ्रेंड थे अग्रवाल जी, मेरे जैसे मारवाड़ी से, उनका मैंने देखा पूरा डस्टिंग हो रहा है फ्लोर पे, उनका वहां कुत्ता भी ग्रीन कलर का हो गया था, और आप व्हाइट शर्ट पहन के जा रहे हैं तो आपका व्हाइट शर्ट भी ग्रीन हो जाएगा. पहले हमको समझ में नहीं आया, फिर मैंने किसी पुराने उनके वहां जो काम कर रहे थे उनको पूछा, बोला सर ये हमारा प्रोडक्ट, मैंने कहा तू झाड़ू लगा के इकट्ठा कर, और बोल रहा है ये रॉ मटेरियल इकट्ठा हो रहा है। द ओनली पुअर हैंडलिंग प्रैक्टिसेस, वो बारदान में आके एक ही बार ऐसे झटकते थे, बारदान फेंक देते थे गनी बैग। हमने उनको सिंपल ये टूल बताया कि किस कॉस्ट में तेरा आ रहा है, थोड़ा सा 150-200 रुपया केजी होगा। मैंने कहा तू झाड़ू निकाल के क्वांटिटी पर डे की निकाल, पर मंथ की निकाल, मुझे बड़ा फिगर दिखाना था, पर ईयर की निकाल, मल्टीप्लाई बाय 20। और उसका सॉल्यूशन सर क्या बताया कि सेठ जी अगर आपको बोनस नहीं दे रहे हैं तो 2 व्यक्ति उस बारदान को पकड़े, एक लकड़ी ले, और जैसे सेठ जी पे गुस्सा हो रहे हैं, सिंपल वो लकड़ी से उसको मारते रहे, and ensure that you are collecting which was otherwise going into the bardan. Very simple tool. ये इंस्टॉलेशन का आया जो आप बता रहे हैं, ये टेम्परेचर थर्मोमीटर, मेनी टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री सर डू नॉट हैव वर्किंग थर्मोमीटर। उनका पुराना मास्टर उसको हाथ लगा बोलता है जिगर हाँ 120 हो गया चार्ज करो। तो सिंपल टूल्स हम अप्लाई कर रहे हैं। देयरफॉर व्हाट माय पॉइंट इज दैट वेरी राइट दैट व्हाट इज द स्कोप ऑफ एनवायरमेंट ऑडिट। इसीलिए हमने गाइडलाइन में वो पॉइंट बी में पॉइंट 8 में ये बताया कि एटलीस्ट आप एक दिन जाके वो सेठ जी से या प्रोसेस इंचार्ज से प्रोसेस का एक डिस्कस कर लें, उसको स्टोक्योमेट्री का थोड़ा बता दें, मोल टू मोल रिएक्शन का बता दें, और सिंपल टूल्स अगर आप देंगे और एक बार आप उसको पैसा दिखा देंगे, सी दे आर बिजनेसमैन, एनवायरमेंट इज ऑल राइट बट देयर मेन फंक्शन इज टू अर्न मनी, वो हमें दिखाना पड़ता है। फिर वो रोज आपको याद करें। नागले साहब को बोला सर मुझे कोई टिप्स दी।
No, I agree. I mean, because only thing is that, of course, stoichiometry is the first thing that we are supposed to see. I mean, as a chemical engineer, I would first want the stoichiometry of any reaction. And these comments are, but, to go beyond a certain limit in advising on the process changes is little bit difficult for me. I mean, so yes, of course. I mean, that please take care of the stoichiometry. Please have your raw materials in proportion to what the stoichiometry suggests. Or please, I mean, one party was carrying out some of the reactions at atmospheric pressure, although there was a reduction in moles. So
Right.
increasing the pressure could probably give them a better thing. So
Yeah.
yes, but only my problem is I cannot go beyond a certain beyond certain generic comments rather than any specific comment. Like I can tell him to increase the pressure, but nothing more than that.
Even that will help sir initially.
Yeah.
और अब क्या है कि just another point, when we talk of this RECP, I'm part of that UNIDO technical team also. In country like China, it is rather only the country where RECP is mandatory.
True.
ये डिस्कस यहाँ भी हुआ था। I said no, it should come voluntarily. दिल से आना चाहिए सर। वो लोग टारगेट कर रहे हैं अच्छी इंडस्ट्रीज के मेरा वाटर कंजम्पशन पर टन ऑफ प्रोडक्ट इतना आ रहा है। आई एम पेइंग फॉर एग्जांपल एट दहेज we have desalination plant spent 800 crores. Now you can imagine at what cost we are selling water to the industry. So immediately they will jump how best I can reduce. उसको हम एक टारगेट देते हैं कि सर 10% रिडक्शन आप करिए, पॉसिबल है। तो ऐसा ऐसा करके उनको फील्ड में लाना पड़ता है। एंड लास्टली हमने ये जो अभी एनवायरमेंट ऑडिटर्स की एग्जाम लेने वाले हैं उसमें एक सीपी का कंपोनेंट के क्वेश्चन है। एंड वी रिक्वेस्ट व्हेन enlightened auditors like you or schedule 1 auditors like my friends इंडस्ट्रीज विजिट करें तो डेफिनेटली एक पेरा उनसे चर्चा करके एटलीस्ट उसको सजेस्ट करें सर, वो करेगा। और अगर आपका वो नहीं मान रहा है तो आप मुझे कहिए, मैं इंडस्ट्री के साथ भी अटैच हूँ, मैं दिस पॉल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड के साथ भी अटैच हूँ। और विल सी दैट देयरफॉर सिंस इट इज नॉट मैंडेटरी, आई वाज पार्ट ऑफ एनवायरमेंट क्लियरेंस कमिटी ACAC फॉर 6 years in Gujarat and then at MOEF Delhi. So at least we have now one condition. अब देखिए EC में और इवन कंसेंट में भी ला रहे हैं कि वो इंडस्ट्रीज में क्लीनर प्रोडक्शन उसने कितना इम्प्लीमेंट किया है। So when we refer their consent before audit, there is also one condition because it is not mandatory and we don't want mandatory sir. Helmet पहनना mandatory है, belt पहनना mandatory है, we just industry will find its own way. So voluntarily, if we do it through the conditions mentioned in EC and in consent, I think probably it may take some time. पर वो लाना जरूर है सर। वापी treatment plant costed us, for example, NCT where I am vice chairman, collecting waste from Ankleshwar, industrial estate, Panoli and Jagadia. और 55 किलोमीटर राउंड द क्लॉक मेरा चल रहा है, तो 220 करोड़ का तो सीईटीपी बना कैपेक्स. To run that plant, I am spending 2.5 crore a month, which is increasing energy, manpower, chemicals. तो उसका एक threshold आ जाएगा सर. Of course, money is collected from industry, but they will also unless we go at first step, how best we can go for resource efficiency and cleaner production. The sustainable model would be difficult. Yeah,
I
it is
take your
a
point. We take your
takes
point.
time, but people like you can always initiate it. Number of
Sure.
studies done by, I believe, Dr. Rotliwala also. ये tough है लेकिन impossible नहीं. Though I have lost all my hair, but still I am fascinating and I am running, and it is only the center. There is no national cleaner production center. It is Gujarat we have surveyed because Gujaratis are basically born entrepreneurs. खाली उनको पैसा दिखाना है. वो हाउस वाइफ भी दूध की थैली निकालेगी तो उसमें पानी डाल के चेक करके इंश्योरिंग के पूरा थोड़ा पानी वापस डाल देगी. शी इज इंश्योरिंग.
Right.
फ्रिज में से भी निकाल के तुरंत गैस पे नहीं रखेगी, थोड़े टाइम पे एम्बिएंट पे आने देगी. पेपर भी बेचती है बस्ती उसको, बस्ती वाले को, तो उसका बैलेंस भी चेक करती है, उसे भाव तोल भी करती है. शी इज इंश्योरिंग दैट आई शुड गेट मनी फॉर ऑल दिस थिंग.
Yeah.
मिल्क पाउच 15 रुपए किलो बीज है. तो ये कंसेप्ट ऑलरेडी हमारे कल्चर में सर था. दैट इज व्हाट आई वांटेड टू टेल. ओनली
Yes.
थिंग इज थ्रू यूनिडो हेल्थ वो टाई वे पहन के आते हैं, उनके थ्रू हम वापस इम्प्लीमेंट करें. सर
No, thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for an elaborated reply. Really indebted. If time permits, I can take some 1 or 2 minutes, or if there are more questions, I can do it later.
Actually, there are two persons raised their hand. Dr. Gaurav Agrawal.
Good day, sir.
Good day.
Regarding environment audit report point of view, there is a point of cleaner production activity what the industry is doing something. Generally, what the industry is saying, like they are going to reduce wastewater, means they are reusing the wastewater after treatment. Even like whatever waste is going to generate, they are using for the co-processing and given to the cement industry. They are considered under the cleaner production.
yeah part of cleaner
Okay.
production. So if they
Okay.
are recycling, reusing even after treatment, और जैसे मैंने एक केस में बताया कि we could able to recover some useful byproduct from mother liquor, earlier वो जा रहा था वेस्ट में. That is part of. और ये नागले साहब बता रहे हैं कि even insulation of cement, I mean steam pipe, is also part of cleaner.
Okay, sir.
Anything which save money or go for recycle. Fish industries वेरावल में उनका washing system हमने change किया. We could able to reduce their 22% of water consumption. वो fish लाते थे and they keep on washing first stage, second, third. तो फर्स्ट स्टेज और सेकंड स्टेज ठीक है, फिश का हेयर और कुछ आंख फांक निकलती थी. सेकंड थर्ड में तो क्लियर पानी था, खाली वो ड्रेन पाइप लेके उसको हमने फर्स्ट में कर दिया. वी कुड एबल टू रिड्यूस 22% ऑफ their fresh water consumption in wearable fish processing industry. So anything like this is here.
Okay. So regarding mass balance, when we are doing mass balance of any product, something, and starting of the EC में mass balance okay है, done है. Then after like advocacy or some other work, when we are doing mass balance, there is some change from the EC something. Okay. Then it not matching with the EC mass balance. Then what we have to do actually?
See, Dr. Gaurav जी, मैं इसी में मैंने कहा 6 साल और 6 साल 12 साल रहा हूँ. इसी में कोई कंसल्टेंट मास बैलेंस कैसे दिखाता है, just for the sake of EC. When they implement, there is a difference. But as an auditor, you have to always bring out this thing in their notice, not in their notice. Frankly, you should mention in your audit. The purpose, see मैंने इसीलिए हिस्ट्री बताई थी कि 97 में जजमेंट में यही आया था कि भाई आपको प्रॉपर एनवायरमेंट मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम लाना है. और if there is some discrepancy, you come out clear cut in your report also. Let him explain what are the reasons. But again, EC लेना एक अलग चीज है. That is just for the sake of EC. हमारा वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट वो कमिटेड इतनी डाल देते हैं, कंजम्पशन कम हो जाता है. Our charges based on commitment charges. So there are so many things. But as an auditor, honestly, you should bring out this thing and discuss also. We kya karan?
Actually,
Because
sir,
mass balance is very important. Yeah.
sir, when we are going to discuss with the industry person, they are saying we have do some R&D something. From the R&D, we came to know that will real scenario, and we are getting yield problem. Then,
So see, it's a debatable.
yeah,
But I know,
that
because
is the
I've gone
problem
through number
actually.
of audit reports also as a part of evaluation. Auditing of auditors report. See, industry has its own way of telling. क्योंकि कभी कभी R&D के लिए कंसर्न का प्रोडक्ट भी ले लेते हैं, फिर वो कंटिन्यूस R&D में प्रोडक्ट का कंसर्न भी आ जाता है. लेट अस नॉट डिबेट ऑन दिस इशू, बट वो जो कह रहा है वो थोड़ा आप अपने एंगल से चेक भी कर लीजिए, वेरीफाई. जस्ट डोंट फॉलो व्हाट इंडस्ट्री इज टेलिंग, उसकी
Okay.
भी लिमिटेशन है. And
Yes,
at
sir.
least in
Yes, sir.
frankly manner, kindly bring into the notice of pollution control board.
Okay, sir.
क्योंकि उसको R&D के लिए भी उसको अप्लाई करना पड़ता है. It's
अच्छा
changing
सर,
something.
एक चीज और पूछना है कि जैसे मास बैलेंस किया, ओके, देन मान लीजिए मास बैलेंस करके 1 MT के 1 टन के लिए मेरा कैलकुलेट करके मान लीजिए 0.6 टन आया, ओके, और उसने 0.06 टन आया समथिंग, ह्यूमन एरर हुए समथिंग या टाइपोग्राफिकल एरर, उस केस में क्या करना चाहिए? मतलब जस्ट एक गाइडेंस नॉर्मल,
नहीं, आपने
क्योंकि
जो
ये
निकाला है तो टाइपोग्राफिकल एरर तो आपकी हो रही है या उसकी हो रही है?
नहीं जो फाइंड आउट किया वो ओके है, मान लीजिए मेरे करके 0.06 आया, ओके, और उसने वहां पे 0.6 दिखाया है और उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट किया, मान लेते हैं कि भाई ओके सर गलती हो गया है, तो उस केस में क्या करना चाहिए?
See, Gaurav ji, where are you stationed? Just out of curiosity, you are
आई
in.
एम एट पारुल यूनिवर्सिटी.
Yeah, okay, I know. ठीक है. एज एन ऑडिटर आपने जो किया है वो क्रॉस चेक करके आपको ही उसमें रिपोर्ट में लिखना
ओके
है.
सर.
तो पर इंडस्ट्रीज को ये भी नहीं लगे, क्योंकि हमारे पास कंप्लेंट आती है इंडस्ट्रीज की तरफ से. जस्ट आई एम नथिंग दैट, डोंट टेक इट अदर वे अराउंड. द कंप्लेंट फ्रॉम ऑडिटर्स बिहेवियर, आई मीन कंप्लेंट्स फ्रॉम इंडस्ट्रीज, जैसे ऑडिटर्स ये सब वो भी आता है. ऑडिटर्स के भी कंप्लेंट आती है. सो नाउ द अथॉरिटी विच इज पॉल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड, दे हैव टू टेक अ कॉल इसमें क्या करना चाहिए. मेनी disputed cases we have resolved. So, but frankly, honestly, whatever you have observed should come out in your audit.
तो मैंने उनको ये बोला यू हैव टू इन्फॉर्म टू जीपीसीबी कि सर ये टाइपोग्राफिकल एरर है, ये समथिंग हो गया है और इसको आप आगे चेंज कर लीजिए.
वो बताए, उसके पहले आप भी एज ए आरओ कंसर्न आरओ से डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. Bringing
ठीक है
on the
सर.
paper, you can always discuss certain issues. There are certain or there are many such sensitive issues which we have been observing, not through schedule 2 auditors but schedule 1 as well. और उससे ये एग्जाम का और ये सब है, नंबर ऑफ थिंग्स हैव इमर्ज. बट ठीक है, द वेरी पर्पस ऑफ ऑडिट इज अ प्रॉपर एनवायरनमेंट मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम. ओनली माय पॉइंट ये, जो किसी ने कहा था आउट ऑफ बॉक्स भी हमें जाना है, तो नागले साहब बता रहे हैं कि भाई सम टाइम थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, बट जाना चाहिए और रिडक्शन का हमें डिस्कस करना चाहिए, विच इज नॉट हैपनिंग इन मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस.
ओके
और
सर.
आने वाले दिन में, लास्ट पॉइंट, आने वाले दिन में दिस इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट. I am part of UNIDO panel on working on climate change, global warming, and the resources consumption. और ये तो ये बता रहे हैं कि इसी हिसाब से कॉप में भी हम थे तो 1.5 डिग्री पे हमको लिमिट होना था. इट हैज गॉन 1.52. आई एम अफ्रेड बाय 2030, not far away, many of our island will disappear. And very sorry to say, Nagle sir, what
Yes,
they
sir.
have predicted, I mean scientists in UN, I am not about that expert, that it would be by 2050, it would be more serious than Corona 1 and Corona 2, and 30% of global population may
Oh
face
my
many
God.
problems. Yeah, it's skin cancers, it's the effect on agro products, on water sources, our health issues, and whatnot. So that is what they have predicted. So unless we use our resources very judiciously, we cannot go. So for climate change, it is one is mitigation, how to mitigate. Another is how to adaptation. For our Indian culture, yeah, we are there. दो सब्जी रोज खाते हैं, एक नहीं आई तो चलेगा. एक दिन एसी नहीं यूज किया, नो व्हीकल डे. पूना में है, बेंगलोर में है, तो ये नो एनर्जी कंजम्पशन हम यहाँ ला रहे हैं. प्लास्टिक के सब्सिट्यूट हम कॉटन बैग्स ले रहे हैं. कंजर्वेशन एवरीवेयर. And therefore, the importance of now Gujarat government, Rotliwala said, government of Gujarat is coming out with the policy on circular economy by GPCB and GCPC. We are working, so that we have to go for refurbishing, remanufacturing, and ensure that we increase the life cycle of product. Unless we do it, yeah, there would be crisis.
Okay. I hope everybody's doubt are clear. There are 2 or 3 more raised hand, but sorry, sir, and sorry, the participants. We are running out of time, and we have our next guest already in the session. So, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry that we won't be able to take your questions. So, you can write an email to him or you can write an email to us. We will forward it to Dr. Jain sir, and then we will again revert back to you, your questions, your answers. Sorry.
Yeah, most
Okay.
welcome. You can interact through email. You can visit my office in Udyog Bhavan, Gandhinagar. We are also working one BREF document on waste paper recycle industry. The second BREF document for Gujarat recycle industry. You will just refer it and you will get best available techniques within the vicinity. So that is what we are also managing. Thank you again, Yogesh bhai and
Okay.
all
Thank you,
my
sir.
dear
Thank you.
participants. I don't know
Thank
whether I
you.
have justified
Thanks a lot.
taking your this much time. Wish you all the best. We'll fight with this climate
Thank you,
change
sir.
with our Indian culture. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay. So, here we will be taking